everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Carlos. Today I will be going over a back, delt, and tricep session. So again, this is staying on a continued linear progression from week to week, increasing strength, increasing reps on certain lifts, and generally just trying to get stronger and stronger and stronger over time. So this week was no different, or this particular session. We're doing 2 of these exact same sessions per week. So this one, we started off as usual with our back rows. We warm up with 175 pounds just to get the range and the movement and the pump, and immediately went up to 265 pounds. Last week's session was very challenging with this weight. I got 5 reps, and this one had more energy, more power in the move. But there's something I have to mention about this is the mental preparation for doing the lift. On my first attempt, I wasn't tight. The feeling of power wasn't there. I was just going to do a rep, and I couldn't even move the bar. And so, what's going on there is just a complete mental thing, right? So breathe and brace, get hyped up and just tighten up, get a little bit angry, grab the bar, and it was actually pretty damn easy. Did 6 reps with those. 265 pounds is 2 20-kilo plates and a 10-kilo plate in the Olympic bar. Went off great. Completely satisfied with the lift. Again, no mind-muscle connection, no pump, and yet, a day later, 2 days later, the back is expanding, weight is being gained, and there's definitely activity of growth in the back. So from there, we backed off and did 2 plates, 100 kilos, for 7 reps, and of course that was very easy. Now, on this particular lift, there's something to be taken into account or to keep in mind as you're doing these heavy lifts, is to not let the shoulder roll forward, to keep the shoulder retracted and focus on rowing with the scapula and not doing an arm row. It's very important to keep that in mind. Although the arm is obviously involved, but the idea, even though there's not really a mind-muscle connection at the heavy weights, still there has to be correct form so that the muscle is properly engaged. From there, we went to our second exercise, which is the machine-seated row with the full stack, 235 pounds. I've maxed that out now for the 3rd straight week. Getting a little bit bored with it, took it up to 12 reps. And I think that's it for now. I'm going to look for another exercise to substitute that one. May add a T-bar, but that may be a little bit excessive with a barbell row and also a bit redundant. For now, I don't want to increase my fatigue and I don't want to go into higher volume. So I'll be searching. I still don't know what I'm going to substitute that with, but I've tapped that one out. I don't see much more progress or possibility for progression there unless I start doing them with one arm, which is what I do on the low row cable. So I'm up to 187 pounds with one arm. Now, this session, I actually regressed because last week I did 8 and 8, and this session was 8 and 7. It's very challenging. It's very challenging, and it's a bit awkward, a bit clumsy. On a couple of the reps, I was still trying to find my footing and my placing, and this is part of the practice. You're not perfect from the start. You have to perfect things, right? So I'm putting up the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some of these reps are kind of nasty and, open to criticism. That's fine. I know what I'm doing and I'm trying to get better at it. But the idea with the one arm, excuse me, goodness sakes. The idea with the one arm is to get really strong at it, right? Don't have access to the really heavy dumbbells, so we're doing low row cables, and they really work. I mean, the stack goes up to 300 pounds. The problem with the low row lateral, which means just one arm, is getting a proper footing on the machine and not being pulled out of position. So staying in position with one arm is a bit more challenging than when you're doing a really heavy dumbbell. But it seems to be working. Like the back is absolutely responding to that move, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not going to be going up in weight for the time being, obviously, until I can utterly dominate 187 pounds. And since I'm at 7, 8 reps now, these cables, I wouldn't graduate a weight until I get to at least 11 or 12 reps. So they still have a few more weeks to go there. Next, we went to a side lateral raise, and I put up a short on YouTube, and it triggers some people. Absolutely, it triggered some people. Why? Because I said on the video, this is an exercise that people tend to stagnate and never, ever, ever progress into heavier weights, right? This side lateral. You don't see people doing hundreds with these, right? It's very difficult, first of all, to get past a certain weight, and it can be dangerous for sure. And it's just not, it's not common for people to do this with weight. I'm practicing with 50 pounds, right? 50-pound side laterals. On my first attempt last week, I got, 7 and 8 reps. 8 on the first attempt, 7 on the next. Well, today I got 10 and 10. It feels easier. It feels more manageable. It feels a bit more familiar. And why would that be? Oh, because I'm practicing with that weight. So if you practice with something, you tend to get better over time with it, right? But why don't people practice with a heavier weight than they're accustomed to? Because of form breakdown. And the form Nazis and the form people, the form purists out there will say, well, you got to lower the weight. If you always do that, obviously you will never, ever, ever do a heavier weight because you're always going to be doing proper form. And proper form is fine. That's great. And nobody's going to argue against it. What I'm arguing here is that if you don't push yourself into a higher limit, even if form is not perfect, you will never progress with those type of lifts. People got very triggered with that. Very triggered. Some people got actually nasty. You're going to tear your shoulder. Well, let me tell you something then. I have had shoulder problem in the past, but it's not from these side laterals. It was from a heavy incline bench. I got over it, and I didn't back down. I didn't stand down. I continued practicing with the incline, and now I'm doing the same thing that injured me with heavier weight now. So look, I got over it. I rehabbed it. Now I'm stronger. Now with these side laterals, I'm very careful. I feel the muscle, and I don't feel any impingement. And God knows if there was something uncomfortable, I wouldn't do it. It's feeling really good for me right now. I mean, I'm trying to do as perfect a technique as possible. It needs to be perfected. But the thing is, practice with a fixed weight that is challenging. That's the only way to progressively overload and get stronger over time, right? You have to increase the weights. So it's not custom. It's not popular to do these type of moves. A lot of the comments was, you're going to hurt your shoulder, the orthopedic surgeon is waiting for you and all these things. And, hey, I understand the feeling. A lot of people, when they do get injured, see somebody else doing the movement that injured them, and they want to be, helpful and say, hey, I got hurt doing that. Be very careful. I am careful. If one thing I try to do is be very careful. It would be very embarrassing for me to be putting up these videos of PRs and going really heavy, and one day, hey, look, I hurt myself because I'm a clown. No, I take this very seriously, and I do try to do my best. And every single rep on those sets is subjectively, in my mind, I am doing it to the utmost of my ability, right? I can't do any more. Maybe somebody can do more, but not me. This is me, and this is you over there trying to do your thing. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. It's your effort. It's your work, and you try to do it to the utmost of your ability, and that's exactly what I am doing. So right now, 50 pounders. I'm going to stay with those for a while, with the 50 pounders until they're easy. They're feeling easier. Like the first time I ever tried them, I was like, I can't do this. And then, on the second attempt, it was yank and pull, a lot of momentum. And now it's just getting easier and better. Why? Because you practice and you get better. Now, from there, I went to the Z-bar triceps extension. And we're also with a fixed weight, with one weight. No pyramid, no build up to it. Already warm. My body temperature is high. My muscles are already limber from doing these heavy back rows and other exercises. Why am I going to pyramid up? It's such a waste of time, guys. There is a thing called junk volume. Now, if anything, it's better to go down in weight and do higher reps once you hit your max. Like you hit your top set, right? The weight that is absolutely challenging for you. And then you can do a back off set where you drop the weight and do more reps. That's absolutely legit. It hits the muscle in a better form and it's not junk. There is junk volume and it's just wasted energy. There's nothing to be gained from it really. And if you really are honest with yourselves, you say, well, I've been doing this for so long and does it really work? I don't think so. Are you getting stronger? Really? Are you lifting more than last time? Be honest. So since I do want to lift more than last time and I want to increase and do that Z-bar extension with eventually 2 20-kilo plates on each side, I know I can do it one day. I know I can do it. As a matter of fact, I did 12 reps with the one plate. I have to go up in weight for my next session, so that's very exciting. And then from there went to the one-arm dumbbell raises. Now, I'm stuck there with 10 reps. I tried to go for 12 and couldn't get more than 10. So another session and until I could hit 12. So I'll be working with that weight, not 35s, not 30s, not 45s, but 40 pounds. Once I can utterly dominate 40 pounds, feel comfortable with it, do it with excellent form, then I'll go up to 45s. That's the idea, right? Progressive overload to get bigger and stronger over time. And then we round it out with calves. Man, calves, I'm not ignoring calves. People say it's genetic, your insertions, either they're high or low, but look, if you train them, they'll grow. If you call them, they will come, So started out with a seated calf raise, and I've been kind of preaching on speed and bar speed and all this. This is great for power moves and all that. But with the calf, I noticed that the slower I go with that movement, this is the one that really deserves mind muscle. So I was like, just slow until I feel every single fiber, and then I crunch it up, hold it for a second. So I did 15 reps with those and got an amazing pump, just that one set, and then finished off with 2 sets of dumbbell calf raises with 100-pound dumbbell. That's feeling pretty easy. Also, mind-muscle connection. This is something that it's one of these muscles that is kind of different from other muscles, I guess just because you walk on it all day. It's built for greater amount of volume and resistance. So perhaps a different angle of attack is warranted. Heavy weights, yes, I get my calf worked from the deep squats. The ankle, it doesn't raise the heel when you're with 400 pounds. And so all that pressure is on the calf, and you actually flex your foot, flex the ankle with 400 pounds. I'm still feeling the pump from last week with that 400 times 6 reps. I actually bruised it a little bit, bruised my calf from doing heavy squats. So when I go and do isolation moves for the calves, I make sure it's slow, it's pump, it's controlled negative, it's all these intensifiers that people love. And I'm not really interested in doing a massive amount of weight on the calf for an isolation. I do them with the squats. So that was basically it for this week. So excited, looking forward for my next session tomorrow, which is going to be a carbon copy. I'm going to do, again, 120 kilos on the back row, but this time, instead of 6 reps, it has to be 7 or 8. So it's just, going for the progression. It's the most important thing right now in this training block. This is week number 4, still have 8 more weeks. So that's exciting. We'll see how far we can take it. And obviously documenting all these lifts. Also increasing slowly with body weight. Not easy for me to gain size, gain weight, but we're slowly creeping up, and that's fine. So that's all to be said for today. Again, take from this what you will from the videos. Don't be triggered by shit that you see on there, and you may wonder if I'm going to hurt myself. I'm not hurting myself. I'm very careful. I do very heavy stuff sometimes. And I'm just extremely cautious. I also get very scared doing some of these lifts. I don't do these blithely, or I just prepare. Okay, I take my time, and you guys should if you're doing heavy weights. I know not all of you guys that follow me and watch me are into this of doing the really heavy stuff. Some of you guys are. I know some power lifters also watch this channel, and for you guys, I'm following you. You know who you are. the progression into massive poundages, like 500, 600, 700 pounds on the squats, on the deadlifts, 400 or 500 pounds on the bench press. This is what I want, and I'll be pursuing this with all my passion and all my strength. And hopefully you guys can come along, for the ride. Be showing the physique in a few months. Pretty excited about that. I do feel that I am progressing. I just don't feel comfortable taking shirts off and showing my physique at the time being. So anyways, guys, take care. I love you all. Thank you for, hanging out with me. God bless everybody. And until next time. Really